What if I told you the next 30 seconds of your morning could dictate the next 30 years of your life? That the difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck isn't talent, luck, or even hard work. It's the words they repeat to themselves every single day. Right now, somewhere in the world, a CEO is speaking these words before her biggest meeting. A champion athlete is roaring them in the mirror before the game. A single mom is whispering them to herself before her third job of the day. And you're about to learn them. By the time we're done, these 10 lines won't just be words. They'll be your new reality. Let's begin. The most powerful force in your life isn't your circumstances, your education, or even your skills. It's the words you whisper to yourself every single day. Those quiet conversations you have in your mind. They're not just passing thoughts. They're the architects of your destiny, silently constructing the person you're becoming. Every I can't, every I'm not good enough, every I'll never isn't just a statement. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy being etched into your nervous system. But here's the life-altering truth. When you change your words, you don't just change your thinking, you change your very identity. Neuroscience reveals that language doesn't just describe reality, it creates it. A groundbreaking study at Harvard showed that when subjects simply replaced I can't with I don't, their success rates in breaking bad habits skyrocketed by 300%. Why? Because I can't implies restriction and deprivation, while I don't establishes identity and power. Your brain believes what you tell it, literally rewiring itself based on the language you use. MRI scans prove that positive self-talk lights up your prefrontal cortex like a Christmas tree, activating problem solving and emotional regulation, while negative talk triggers your amygdala's fight or flight response. You're not just speaking words, you're programming your biological supercomputer. Consider the transformation of Muhammad Ali. Before he was the greatest, he was Cassius Clay, a talented but unproven boxer. But listen to how he spoke about himself. I am the greatest. I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast. I can't possibly be beat. Critics called it arrogance, but Ali understood something profound. He wasn't boasting, he was building. By consistently declaring his greatness, he wasn't just convincing the world, he was convincing himself. Those words became the scaffolding upon which he constructed a legendary career. When he said, I am the greatest, his nervous system heard a command and responded accordingly. That's why after suffering a brutal defeat to Joe Frazier, he didn't crumble. His identity-defining language gave him the resilience to come back stronger. Tony Robbins teaches that where focus goes, energy flows, but we must add, where words go, identity grows. Look at how children learn. They become what they're told. Tell a child they're clumsy often enough, and they'll trip over their own feet. Tell them they're brilliant, and they'll rise to meet that expectation. This doesn't magically stop at adulthood. Your inner child is still listening to every word you say about yourself. When you declare, I'm terrible with money, your subconscious obediently makes it true. When you affirm, I'm a quick learner, your brain finds ways to prove you right. The most successful people in history have harnessed this power. Oprah Winfrey's morning mantra, I am a woman of power, a woman of influence. Elon Musk's relentless repetition, the future needs us to become a multi-planetary species. These aren't just affirmations, they're identity blueprints. Research shows it takes about 21 days of consistent language repetition to rewrite a core belief. That means 3 weeks of consciously shaping your words could literally redefine who you are. Here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, become hyper-aware of your language. Every time you catch yourself saying, I have to, replace it with, I get to. Transform this is impossible into, this will require my best. Shift from, I'm stressed to, I'm being stretched. These subtle changes create massive neurological shifts. Remember, you're not describing yourself, you're designing yourself. Your words are the chisel and your life is the marble. What masterpiece will you carve? The ancient proverb was right. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Not just your spoken tongue to others, but that quiet, constant voice speaking to you. That voice is either your prison guard or your liberator. Today, right now, you get to choose. Will your words cage you or crown you? The decision is yours, but choose wisely. Your identity is listening. For decades, self-help gurus have preached fake it till you make it as gospel truth. But I'm here to expose the dangerous flaw in this philosophy. Because faking it doesn't make you authentic, it makes you exhausted. The real secret? Don't fake it, focus. Your brain isn't fooled by empty posturing but it will respond explosively when you give it targeted, embodied action. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about activating the highest version of who you already are. Neuroscience reveals why traditional faking fails. Your basal ganglia, the brain's pattern recognition center, constantly compares your actions with your core identity. When there's mismatch, when you're faking, it triggers stress responses that sabotage your efforts. But when you take authentic actions aligned with your aspirational self, something magical happens. A 2021 Yale study showed that subjects who performed just 5 minutes of behavior matching their desired identity showed 300% more persistence in pursuing goals than those using traditional fake-it techniques. Your nervous system doesn't respond to lies, but it leaps at truth in action. Consider the transformation of Ed Sheeran. As a struggling teen, he didn't pretend to be a superstar. He performed like one, playing 300 plus gigs a year in tiny venues. Each show wasn't fakery, it was his future self in embryonic form. Contrast this with countless fake-it entrepreneurs who lease Lamborghinis for Instagram while their businesses crumble. One approach builds genuine competence, the other builds unsustainable debt. The difference? Sharon wasn't pretending. He was practicing his destiny into existence through micro doses of authentic behavior. Tony Robbins teaches that repetition is the mother of skill, but we must add, authentic repetition is the mother of transformation. When you focus on small, believable actions that stretch but don't rupture your self-concept, you trigger what psychologists call identity-based habit formation. Instead of saying, I'm a competent speaker while trembling backstage, which your brain rejects, say, I'm someone who speaks up in meetings today. And do just that. These nano wins accumulate into unshakable confidence because they're rooted in truth, not theater. The military has used this principle for centuries. Navy SEAL candidates aren't told to fake being tough. They're given gradual, authentic challenges that make toughness in each completed challenge rewires their identity at a cellular level. This is why elite performers across fields use what I call the 5% truth method, taking actions just 5% beyond their comfort zone. A writer doesn't pretend to be Shakespeare. They commit to writing 200 genuine words daily. A salesperson doesn't fake confidence. They make one more real call than yesterday. Here's your breakthrough formula. Identify one small, authentic action your future self would take. Perform it consistently until it feels natural. Level up only when the action becomes unconscious. This isn't faking, it's focused becoming. Your body knows the difference between performance and presence. Your future self isn't a costume to wear, it's a muscle to develop. Stop pretending, start practicing. The results will shock you. The Millionaire's Morning Secret, why most people never get rich. The first 90 minutes of your day determine your financial destiny. While 97% of people hit the snooze button and stumble into their mornings half asleep, self-made millionaires weaponize the early hours with ruthless precision. This isn't about waking up at 4 a.m. It's about what you do with those sacred morning moments that separates the wealthy from the stuck. Your morning routine is either compounding small advantages into massive success or quietly sabotaging your financial future every single day. Neuroscience reveals why mornings matter most. Your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, operates at peak capacity for 2.5 hours after waking. Millionaires don't waste this mental clarity scrolling social media or watching news designed to trigger stress responses. They attack high-value activities requiring maximum cognitive function. A 5-year study tracking 177 self-made millionaires found 92% devoted their first hour to 3 non-negotiable practices. 1, movement that elevates heart rate. 2, deep learning, not shallow consumption. 3, strategic planning of their top money-making activity. This holy trinity creates a neurological success cascade that pays compound interest over decades. Consider Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, who starts his day at 3:45 a.m., reviewing global sales data before hitting the gym. Or Oprah Winfrey, who dedicates her first hour to meditation and study. These aren't eccentric habits, they're calculated wealth-building strategies. Your morning routine is either making you money or costing you money. There's no neutral. The average person checks their phone within 7 minutes of waking, immediately surrendering their mental edge to other people's agendas. Millionaires protect their morning focus like Fort Knox because they understand whoever controls your attention controls your financial future. The Millionaire Morning Matrix follows 4 pillars proven to rewire your brain for wealth creation. First, movement that crosses the aerobic threshold. Studies show just 20 minutes boosts cognitive function by 15% for 10 plus hours. Second, consumption of specialized knowledge. The average millionaire reads 2+ books monthly, while most people haven't finished one in years. Third, revenue generating activity before noon. Your brain solves problems 23% faster in the morning. Fourth, gratitude practice, linked to better risk assessment by MIT researchers. This isn't rocket science, it's neurochemical alchemy that transforms potential into profit. Tony Robbins teaches that success leaves clues, and the morning routine is the master clue. Look at any wealth creator, from Warren Buffett to Sarah Blakely, and you'll find obsessive morning rituals. The magic happens in the compound effect. Reading 30 pages daily gives you 36 books yearly. Exercising 20 minutes daily adds 121 hours of elevated cognition annually. Planning your top revenue activity first creates 260 plus high-focus sessions yearly. These marginal gains separate the rich from the stuck. Here's your $1 million morning challenge. For the next 21 days, implement the 60/30 rule. 60 minutes of wealth building activities before 30 minutes of consumption. Move with intensity for 20 minutes. Spend 20 minutes consuming knowledge that directly impacts your earning ability. Devote 20 minutes to advancing your one income-producing activity. This simple formula will shock your system into financial productivity. The wealthiest don't have more time, they have better rituals. Your bank account doesn't care about your excuses, it responds to your habits. The question isn't whether you can afford to master your mornings, it's whether you can afford not to. Your financial future is being decided right now, not in some distant tomorrow, but in the choices you make tomorrow morning. Confidence isn't a personality trait, it's a physiological state you can trigger at will. While most people wait for confidence to magically appear before taking action, high performers know the secret. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. Your body has an actual biological confidence switch that floods your system with unstoppable certainty, and you're about to learn how to flip it in seconds. Harvard research reveals confidence is primarily governed by 3 neurochemicals: testosterone, dominance; dopamine, reward anticipation; and oxytocin, social connection. The moment you intentionally alter your physiology to produce this cocktail, you become psychologically bulletproof. Amy Cuddy's famous power pose study proved just 2 minutes of expansive posture increases testosterone by 20% and decreases cortisol, the stress hormone, by 25%. But here's what she didn't tell you. The real magic happens when you combine this with what Navy SEALs call success anchoring, linking peak physiological states through specific triggers through emotional repetition. Consider how Serena Williams prepares for championship points. Watch closely. She doesn't just take deep breaths. She rolls her shoulders back, plants her feet like roots into the earth, and stares down her opponent with what psychologists call the victory gaze. This isn't superstition, it's science. By consistently pairing this physiological sequence with winning moments, she's conditioned her nervous system to enter championship mode on command. You can create the same instant confidence trigger through what I call the 3-point power reset. 1, stand like a superhero, chest wide, hands on hips for 30 seconds. 2, take 3 slow breaths through your nose while recalling your greatest victory. 3, make 2 fists and whisper, "Now!" as you release them. Repeat this sequence 5 times daily for 2 weeks, and you'll wire unshakable confidence into your nervous system. Tony Robbins teaches that emotion is created by motion, but we must go deeper. Confidence isn't just about body language, it's about identity reinforcement. When you combine power physiology with what cognitive scientists call self-concept priming, you create an unstoppable confidence loop. Before important meetings or events, spend 90 seconds visualizing past successes while maintaining power posture. Your brain literally cannot distinguish between vividly imagined success and real experience. This double binds your neurology toward confidence. The military's most elite units use a classified version of this technique called battle mind priming. Before missions, operatives don't just check gear, they perform specific movements that trigger trained confident states. One declassified SEAL exercise involves pressing the tongue to the roof of the mouth while squeezing the left thumb, a move that instantly activates the prefrontal cortex and dampens fear response. While you don't need combat level conditioning, you can create your own confidence triggers through what I call success snaps. Simple physical actions like snapping fingers repeatedly performed during confident moments that later recall those states. Here's your field-tested confidence protocol. For the next 14 days, perform the 3-point power reset first thing each morning. Before any confidence-demanding situation, activate your personalized success snap while visualizing 3 past victories. The cumulative effect will shock you. Within weeks, you'll develop what psychologists call confidence onset latency, the ability to summon certainty faster than most people can process doubt. Remember, confidence isn't something you have, it's something you do. The switch exists. Your hand is on it. Flip it now. Bad days don't exist. Only bad perspectives that we choose to indulge. While most people let circumstances dictate their emotional state, elite performers understand this fundamental truth. Your experience of life isn't determined by what happens to you, but by what you do with what happens. Viktor Frankl survived Auschwitz by discovering that between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. This isn't positive thinking, it's precision thinking that transforms breakdowns into breakthroughs. Neuroscience reveals that what we call bad days are actually just neural patterns of learned helplessness. When you repeatedly tell yourself this is a bad day, you strengthen the brain's negativity bias, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. But research from the University of Pennsylvania shows we can short-circuit this pattern through selective focus. Their study found that people who practiced identifying just 3 meaningful moments each day, no matter how small, rewired their brains to default to resilience in 21 days. Navy SEALs use a similar technique called tactical compartmentalization, training their minds to focus only on what they can control in the present moment, which is why they perform brilliantly in situations others would call catastrophes. Consider how Starbucks founder Howard Schultz handled perhaps the worst day of his business life. On July 4, 2008, he had to close 600 stores and lay off 12,000 employees. While most would crumble, Schultz framed it as the transformational day we became a different company. Within 5 years, Starbucks stock increased 1,200%. This is the hallmark of the no more bad days mindset, the ability to extract gold from garbage. Tony Robbins puts it bluntly, there are no bad days, only days that reveal where we need to grow. Every so-called bad day contains the exact nutrients your success requires if you have the courage to digest them. The No More Bad Days protocol has 3 battle-tested steps. First, the 5A second reframe. When adversity strikes, immediately ask, what's the opportunity here? Studies show this simple question activates problem-solving regions of the brain. Second, emotional alchemy. Physically change your state through movement, music, or breathing rather than collapse. Third, progress hunting. Identify 3 micro wins you've achieved despite the challenges, proving to your nervous system that forward motion never stops. Winston Churchill demonstrated this mindset during the Blitz, when London was bombed for 57 consecutive nights. Rather than despairing, he declared, "We are the masters of our fate," and used the crisis to forge national unity. Similarly, when Southwest Airlines had to ground their entire fleet in 2021, CEO Gary Kelly didn't panic. He told employees, this is our chance to reinvent and emerge stronger. These leaders understand what psychologists call anti-fragility, the ability to grow stronger from stressors. Your toughest days aren't roadblocks, they're resistance training for your character. Implement the No More Bad Days protocol starting now. When challenges arise, physically stand up, breaking the paralysis pattern, state aloud, this is my growth moment, and take 1 immediate action toward a solution. Within weeks, you develop what Navy SEALs call the resilience reflex, automatically converting obstacles into advantages. The storm isn't the problem. Your belief that calm weather is required for success is. From today forward, there are no bad days, only powerful days in disguise. Will you see the truth or continue the lie? The choice is yours, but choose fast because life doesn't pause while you decide. The 10x focus rule, how to eliminate distractions forever. Distraction is the silent assassin of greatness, and right now it's killing your potential. In a world where the average person checks their phone 144 times daily and switches tasks every 40 seconds, your ability to focus has become the ultimate competitive advantage. But here's the life-changing truth. Focus isn't something you have, it's something you create through ruthless design. The 10x focus rule isn't about working harder. It's about engineering an environment where distraction can't. Neuroscience reveals that every interruption costs you 23 minutes of productivity, but the real damage is far worse. A MIT study found that constant task switching shrinks your prefrontal cortex, literally making you less intelligent over time. Meanwhile, Stanford researchers discovered that people who maintain uninterrupted focus for just 90 minutes experience a flow state that makes them 500% more productive than their distracted counterparts. This isn't about time management, it's about brain chemistry. When you enter deep focus, your brain releases a potent cocktail of norepinephrine, dopamine, and acetylcholine, neurochemicals that supercharge learning, creativity, and problem solving. Distraction isn't just stealing your time, it's robbing you of your genius. Consider how Elon Musk built $3 billion companies simultaneously. His secret, the time blocking method, dividing his day into 5-minute increments, each with a single predetermined task. No checking emails, no social media, no quick meetings, just pure uninterrupted creation. Similarly, author J.K. Rowling checked into a $1,000/night hotel just to finish Harry Potter, not because she needed luxury, but because she needed an environment where distraction was impossible. These aren't extreme measures. They're the minimum requirements for extraordinary results in our distraction economy. The 10X Focus Protocol has 3 unbreakable laws. First, environmental design. Remove all visible distractions from your workspace. Studies show even a silent smartphone reduces cognitive capacity by 20%. Second, time compression. Work in 90-minute focused sprints, followed by true recovery, mimicking your brain's ultradian rhythm for peak performance. Third, attention anchoring. When your mind wanders, physically snap your fingers and say, focus. This creates a neurological interrupt that resets concentration. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work, found that people who practice this protocol gain back 15 plus hours of productive time weekly. That's 780 hours annually, or the equivalent of 19 extra work weeks. Tony Robbins takes it further with what he calls the hour of power. 60 minutes of completely undisturbed strategic thinking each morning that consistently produces breakthroughs others spend months chasing. Your brain is either a laser or a disco ball. There's no middle ground. Implement the 10X Focus Rule starting today. For the next 21 days, schedule 3 90-minute focus blocks where you turn off all notifications, put your phone in another room, and work on a single priority with intense concentration. Use a physical timer if needed. The results will shock you. What used to take days will start taking hours. Distractions will beg for your attention and find no opening. The most valuable resource in the 21st century isn't time or money, it's undivided attention. Every distraction you eliminate doesn't just give you back minutes, it gives you back life force. The choice is yours. Continue being a slave to every ping and notification, or join the elite who understand that focus is the new superpower. Your future self is watching this moment right now. Will they be proud of your decision or shaking their head in regret? The clock is ticking, your destiny is waiting. Focus, or forever wonder what you could have achieved. Your life isn't just about you, it's about the countless lives you'll touch long after you're gone. Most people live in the cramped space of me, here, now, obsessed with instant gratification and personal gain. But here's the earth-shattering truth that changes everything. The greatest achievers in history didn't chase success, they chased significance. They understood that legacy isn't what you leave for people, but what you leave in people. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you're building yours one decision at a time. Neuroscience reveals we're hardwired for legacy. Harvard researchers call it generativity, the powerful psychological need to create value that outlasts our lifespan. When you activate this drive, something remarkable happens. Your prefrontal cortex lights up like Times Square, releasing a cascade of dopamine and oxytocin that shallow achievement can never match. This explains why philanthropists like Warren Buffett report deeper fulfillment from giving away billions than making them. Legacy isn't just noble, it's neurologically rewarding. Your brain knows what your ego often forgets, that we're designed to plant trees whose shade we'll never sit under. Consider Jonas Salk, who discovered the polio vaccine in 1955. When asked who owned the patent, he replied, "Could you patent the sun?" That single decision to give rather than hoard has since saved an estimated 1.5 million lives and prevented paralysis in 11 million more. Compare this to contemporaries who died wealthy but forgotten. Salk's legacy lives in every child who plays without fear of an iron lung, That's the power of legacy thinking. It transforms transactions into transmissions, passing your values forward like a baton through generations. Tony Robbins teaches that the secret to living is giving, but legacy takes this further. It's not charity, it's architecture. When Steve Jobs designed Apple's campus, he insisted the sidewalks were positioned to force unexpected collaborations between engineers and designers. Decades after his death, that intentional design still sparks innovations. That's legacy, creating systems that keep giving long after you're gone. Whether you're mentoring a colleague, raising conscious children, or building systems that outlive you, you're either planting seeds or digging graves for future potential. Here's how to activate your legacy mindset today. Ask 3 soul-shaking questions. 1, what breaks my heart enough to dedicate my best energies to fixing? 2, what unique value can only I contribute to this moment in history? 3, when future generations say my name, what 3 words do I want them to use? Then, and this is critical, take 1 immediate action toward that vision within the next 24 hours. Legacy isn't built in someday, it's constructed in today. Look at how Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, yet emerged not with bitterness, but with a vision for reconciliation that transformed a nation. His cell could have made him small. Instead, it became the crucible for a legacy that now inspires millions. That's the choice we all face, to be corroded by our challenges or alchemized by them into something timeless. Your legacy isn't some distant concern. It's being written right now in the emails you send, the conversations you have, the standards you refuse to lower. Every day you're either becoming an ancestor future generations will thank, or one they'll wonder about. The clock is ticking. The world doesn't need more takers, it needs more builders of bridges to a better future. Will you answer the call? Your name is already being whispered by those not yet born who will live in the world you helped shape. What will they say about you? The pen is in your hand. Start writing now. I met a man once, broken, depressed, $100K in debt. He told me, Tony, I've got nothing left. I said, then you've got nothing left to lose. Say these words every morning for 30 days, even if you don't believe them. 30 days later, he'd landed a new job, started his side hustle, reconnected with his family. Why? Because his mind couldn't hold those words and stay the same. It's impossible. Your turn.